Hello heroes! In today's video we're going to be using the Heroscape Terrain Systems to build a map for Dungeons and Dragons. I'm teaming up with a Dungeon Master and he's got his final campaign to send off all of his players, and so we're going to make an awesome immersive map using the Heroscape Terrain System. I am not sponsored by Renegade, but I do have an affiliate link in the bottom if you want to use it to support the channel. And they're constantly releasing new terrain sets, so check out their website, heroscape.com, to see the most up-to-date terrain sets. Right now there's swamp, there's snow, there's roads, there's walls, and there just keeps more and more keep coming out. Let's get into the video. Let's meet our Dungeon Master. I'm here with Jacob. He is a great DM. I've seen him DM a little bit, so I've experienced this. So share with us your DM experience, your Dungeons and Dragons experience, like how long, how much do you play, just a little bit so we can see your expertise so we can believe you instead of me.
Yeah, I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons since high school, so it's been like 10 years that I've been playing. I played in my first session, and my next experience with the game was being a dungeon master, because I saw that side of it from the outside and just loved it and thought that has to be me. That's gonna fit me so well. So most of my time playing the game has been as the dungeon master.
Now, what kind of prep goes into being a dungeon master?
It's story crafting. It is combat balance, making sure that I can present challenges to my players that won't be immediately too dangerous for their characters, but making situations where they can be creative, where they can use their abilities in ways that surprise me, and hopefully at the same time I can surprise them with whatever I can make.
That's awesome. So what kind of tools have you used for your encounter? Is it grids? Is it terrain? Is it paper? Or is it more theater of the mind? It probably was a progression.
Yeah, it's a combination. Most of my time I have had a grid map that I draw onto.
So mostly 2D.
Mostly two-dimensional, yes. Yeah, I've just had to represent any change in elevation with extra little lines or something, or actually writing the numbers on it. This is 15 feet above that.
That's good. I mean, you do what you do.
Yeah.
And you do what you can with what you got. So
yeah, and it has worked well enough.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So I come from playing a lot of board games, and those are mostly 2D.
Right.
And then I got into a game called Descent, and that had 3D terrain, which was really cool. And then I got into Heroscape recently, and that's all 3D terrain. So I was that's awesome. And so what's really cool is, Renegade Game Studios that produces the Heroscape now. And one of the things they're trying to do is give an option for those that play D&D or Battletech or a lot of the other games that require terrain to have an option to get just the terrain. So most of this terrain here has come just from boxes of terrain. So you don't have to buy the figures or even the game really. It's just the terrain system. And so I dropped some of the terrain off, last week I think it was.
Yeah.
And so you got to play with it a little bit before we got into building. What was your first little impressions when you opened up the boxes and things like that?
First impression was, that it was different. First of all, I mainly have used the square grids for what I do, and Heroscape uses the hexagon. But it was interesting to see, on the scale with the miniatures that I use for D&D, it's actually a better representation of a 5-foot area each hexagon in Heroscape, which I found fascinating. And so when I tried it out in the session that I ran last week, I just had a couple of things. I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't know what to build. So I just had a couple of things, a few to represent rocks in the way, and then a hill that my enemies started, that my characters who were opponents to the party, that they started out on. So they were attacking from a place of elevation. And it was a good time. I liked what it did. I liked the variation that it created, and more importantly, the visual representation of that variation that my players could visualize more perfectly.
Yeah, we visualize the height difference,
yeah.
And it makes the map pop a little bit.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna go big this time, because this is gonna be, you said you're kind of a send off last end of the campaign.
Yeah,
type
pretty
thing.
much. Yeah.
So
Big boss fight.
big boss fight. So we're gonna build something to represent a big boss fight. So let's build it.
Let's do it.
Well, that was a lot of fun building. We
Yeah.
got creative.
It's a lot. This is big.
It's big. Yeah, we stacked up like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We got like 12. That's 60 feet, right?
Yeah, that's huge.
That's big. This is the biggest terrain encounter you've made
Oh, absolutely.
out of anything.
Yeah, hands down.
As a dungeon master, knowing that you've got to spend time prepping for your encounters and everything, you know, like how was it from that perspective, thinking like I'm a dungeon master and I might do this every time, you know?
Mhm.
Is it worth it?
Yeah, it went faster than I expected, actually, that's for sure. Because I made the digital base that went underneath it very quickly. That took almost no time at all, and I just had a general idea of what I wanted, and then building this on top of it, like there's so much freedom with how everything locks together that I really could just think like, okay, well, I want this here, I want this here, and just like it came together very naturally, I felt like. So like as a DM, it didn't feel like a burden to think of like, okay, how am I gonna make all this fit together? It's just like, let it take over, just let it build.
It did feel natural,
Yeah.
just building, you know, which I build a lot of maps for tournaments with Heroscape using
Mhm.
this stuff. And sometimes that's like, I mean, each piece has to be in a specific place because, you know, the height right here matters. And if there's a glyph there, like it's very intense of how perfect it needs to be built to make it a balanced map for a tournament. So building this was really fun for me because it just felt like a free flow. It was just like, we just kind of like, oh, a little here, a little there, and it just kind of
what makes sense.
yeah. So I enjoyed building it, and yeah, we built it pretty quick. It was, you know, probably 30, 40 minutes, and
Yeah.
it's big, you know?
Yeah,
Like, you're not
like,
always going to
I don't know if I would do this
big.
scale every time, but thankfully I don't have to, and I can just have little points of variance, points of interest built with this, and that would work really well.
We'll come back and see what your group thinks of the whole thing and the reveal.
Get everyone to grab corners here. This needs to lift straight up.
Oh my gosh!
This is good.
Oh, that's so good. I am so nervous. Oh no!
We're dead. Day is the day you die!
We're gonna try.
20, and the music's lining up perfect for 50, 55, 60,
Oh my gosh.
5, 10. I'm sorry.
Phoenix, what?
Flying right up to me.
It's going to Daniel, I need a dex save from me.
Oh my gosh.
Ah!
That one.
Oh no!
Hi, babe.
Wow, that was so cool. Like, I haven't been to a big D&D session for a long time, and just like being there watching everybody was really fun. Like the energy there was like so exciting. Everybody was just having a blast.
I'm glad you had fun. That was the biggest I have run in a long time.
There's what, you had 10?
I've got 9 players.
So plus you's 10?
Plus me is 10,
Yeah, so
plus
you had-
you was 11.
Yeah, 11 people down here. Just, there was so much energy. It was exciting. So I don't know, how did you feel it went for you and the players with the map and how it all interacted?
Well, first of all, they told me afterwards that they thought it was just so cool. It is a particular joy as a dungeon master to see shock and perhaps fear on your players' faces when something about the battlefield changes. I love being able to surprise them, and so like when the ground here was destroyed and there's the lava underneath, and same thing with this, the hazard over here with the acid. Just the shift in the flow of the fight and in how they had to adapt to work around it changed the game. And I thought that was just brilliant.
Yeah, they seemed so surprised when that went away, and they're like, lava? And then somebody fell in the lava and got burned.
Immediately, someone was standing on it, fell right in, and
That's an experience for sure, and that's what's really cool, I think, with this terrain system, is that you can create a better experience potentially, especially if
I can create a more physical, more interactive experience, because that's something that gets lost a lot of times when it's just a 2D map. Like, we're moving around, but when you have to visualize everything, not everyone's going to visualize it the same way.
Yeah.
And so that can get in the way. That can be an obstacle to people interacting with whatever scene that you're in. So having it represented so tangibly like this was a huge benefit to how things played out.
Yeah, which I've noticed just in life generally, the more preparation you do for something, usually the easier, more enjoyable whatever event is. So like prepping and having a physical map makes it easier on the players to be able to focus and enjoy the rest of the game. And I noticed, a lot of people, during the session, they're like putting their people behind the trees and like, am I hiding right here?
Utilize cover and
me?
check the line of sight.
Like, how often are you hiding behind cover? A lot of times you're not. So they're like, okay, here.
It gets forgotten. I'll draw it on the map, and they don't even see it.
Yeah. So that definitely that's a really cool aspect too, So, and what are some of your other takeaways just in general, and for anybody that might be interested in like maybe getting some of this terrain system, do you think it would be worth it? Do you want some?
I think if you have a setting that there's going to be like a larger encounter, like it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be fighting an aspect of Tiamat.
Yeah.
But like if you have a set location that you're like, okay, I really want this to be something special, then building something like this is incredible. It's going to really enhance the gameplay. And then if you're doing something smaller, it's like if you just want something ready for when something happens. It's like, okay, something might happen here, they might get in a fight, something may go wrong in this circumstance. The fact that this is like detachable, removable, and like portable makes it so that you can have set pieces prepared in advance. And I would love to do that. I would love to have stuff prepared in advance. To just say like, okay, well, you guys, you triggered the trap, you angered the guards, something happened, and now we're gonna get into it. And just being able to take this and plop it down on the table, I'd be all over that.
Yeah,
that would be absolutely brilliant. Be like, okay, well, I know we're gonna be in this setting, so prep a couple of things with these terrain tiles of this specific type. It's like we're in a volcano, use the red ones. And just having little things like that prepared, just for instant variance on a battlefield. Incredible.
That's cool. That's awesome. Yeah. I love the terrain system. I use it for obviously Heroscape mostly, but again, this is a very versatile thing, like you're saying. It can be used for your D&D, and it can be for something massive or something smaller. Just little things. Your little encounters. Even just throwing some trees in some places. It just pops things and makes things look alive. One last question for you: do you feel like if you don't have this in your next session, now that your players have had it, will they be slightly disappointed?
I think this was an excellent treat, and I think anytime it comes out, that is how it will be seen. I would love to make it more regular, but we've gone for a long time without it, and while I'd like to integrate it over time, yeah, I think it'll continue to grow on it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely cool. And what's cool is they're constantly coming out with more expansions of different styles, with different sets. So there'll continually be more to add and to be able to make it more diverse.
Excellent.
And you can, get small packs and just slowly build up. It's not like you have to buy everything at once. So you can make it as a slow progression, and which is nice to be able to do that with anything that costs money.
Anyone who plays D&D knows that it's a overtime kind of hobby.
Exactly. And something with this is nice because it continues to grow. And again, like this terrain system, they've been using the same terrain from the beginning, 2006. So like over 20 years now. Like some of these tiles are actually 20 years old.
Dang.
Some original tiles I have, so usable for years and years and years, and so it's nice to have that capability to continue to use over time and to have the versatility of just whatever you can make, whatever you can think of. So anyways, well, thank you for having me and being able to have this experience with your D&D group.
Well, hey, thanks for the help. This was huge. This was amazing.
Oh, cool. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this as well. And if you want to see more videos on the terrain system, check them out over here.